Is it Jaguar? Is it Jaguar? Or is it hold on, Jaguar? Hey guys, Blade Angel here, back again with more The Crew 2, and you already know we're using a Jag because... Actually, I don't know why we're using a Jag. You know what? Who am I kidding? You know why. Everyone knows why. It's because mother effing quad exhaust. That's why. Like, look at this sexy ass quad exhaust. Oh yeah, like... Oh, it's such a good looking car. Like, I don't use many British cars in this channel. In fact, I don't even think I've ever used a British car on this channel outside of McLarens. I don't even think I've used McLarens that often, but, well, we're using something else for once. What the heck did I... Okay, that was a very incorrect way of getting here. I feel like it expected me to go another way, but we are here now, and this car actually drives very nice. I like how they integrate motorcycles with cars during races. I think that's really cool. But this car drives so nice. I love it a lot. And yes, I'm just going to refer to it as Jag for the whole video, because if you know anything about my automotive channel and for this channel, I have a long history of never liking what the fuck people want this car to be called. So Americans say Jaguar, British people say Jaguar, and then some other people like Australia say Jaguar. So I don't fucking know which one it is. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to do the Jeremy Clarkson way of just saying Jag. And that's how we gotta do it. Look at this mother effing jump. Get some good old big Jag air, boy. Moves like Jagger, or moves like Jaguar. And fuck, I can't make that joke because I have to attempt to pronunciate the car's full name, and that's just not gonna work. Alright, the physics, oh, you can DI in this game, that's great. So if you don't know what DI means, it means directionally input. And it's not just a fighting game term, it's a really any game term. Any game that usually lets air movement, it requires some sort of DI. So most racing games don't let you, most modern games you can DI in it. Like, you can control your car in the air. It's horribly unrealistic. Like, you should not at all be able to control a car in the air, but it's good. It's a good gameplay mechanic, but a horrible, like, realism mechanic. But then again, a lot of realistic racing simulators don't really put your car in the air anyways, so there's no need for, like, there's never a concern for that. But the graphics in this, so I put it on Ultra for a bit, and obviously I can't do the Anime Girl at the same time there's Ultra. And I'll tell you guys right now, you are not missing out on anything. I put it, right now I just record in 720p because it's freaking YouTube. It doesn't render the highest quality anyways, so who really cares that I'm not going to play this game in like super epic graphics. Like, you can watch YouTube video comparisons, so I never played the Crew, I did play the Crew 1, but only like the demo, but based on my experience of the Crew 1 and some of the Wild Run when I watched a friend play it, I came to the conclusion its graphics were never really like the selling point. Like, the Crew, this video game series, never really had like astounding graphics, but it does have one of the biggest maps of not just any racing game, but of games in general. Being like, when I measured it, it was like, according to the game, it was like almost 100 in-game miles long, which is a huge map. Like, not a lot of games have that much like width to them, and like the height of it, I don't know how tall it is. It's a big map, like, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty detailed out, everything's one for one, but it's a good representation, and they did their best. Having said that though, like, the Crew 2 was like a huge downgrade in graphics. Like, there's definitely some YouTube videos that like showcase it, and there are so many weird like stringevities, like the poles, the benches, like really, and the trees and the shadows, like really weird things that you would think would improve with over the years would actually like were downgraded. Like, they have worse textures, and it makes no sense to me because it's like a fucking bench. Like, if you really wanted to save like graphical prowess for the sake of like a better performance, there's so many other things you could probably modify instead of like a random park bench. And that's probably why they did it, was so people wouldn't notice it that much. But the trees were such a noticeable one. Like, the backfires look nice, the reflections look nice, but oh my god, like, everything else just feels a little wonky. Again, like I said, I'm playing on medium, so it's not accurate, but if you do play it on ultra, you're not treated to that much more. But like, to me, graphics don't matter that much for this type of game. It's a great game regardless, and I'm having a lot of fun. My car severely outranks the recommended rank. I think it didn't expect me to like buy this car because I saved up so much money doing like airplane and boat events just to buy this car. Like, I'm still very early on in this game, like not even 2 hours of gameplay. So like, by the time you guys, like, obviously it's been like 2 days since I because I schedule my videos differently, but by the time you guys are watching this, only like 2 in-game hours have passed for me, and like, they probably did not expect me to freaking have a car this OP already. But another thing I was gonna say is like, oh, I hate how it reuses this. This isn't a gripe yet, I guess, because I could be wrong there. Definitely comment it down below because I want to know for future reference. Does it ever have like sweeping country road races? Like, I know I've done a few like in Harley Davidson. It's like, but it's like loaner vehicles. Like, do they have like do I get to like actually utilize, what I'm trying to say is, do I actually get to utilize the full country map on a more consistent basis throughout the races? Like, that is such a big selling point in this game, and I feel like it's all just tight city. Like, look at this, we're already done with one lap. Like, this is like such a tight-knit city track, and I hate that. In fact, I finally figured out the reason why Need for Speed Underground and Need for Speed Most Wanted, both of them by the way, they didn't really grow on me, and even why Burnout Paradise did, it was like a half and half mix to me. The reason I love Rivals, one of the main reasons that I guess I kind of was unaware of, the reason I love Rivals and Hot Pursuit, is because of the long sweeping roads. It has like such a European feel to it, and also because I live in Indiana, and most of our roads are like that. They're not very geometric. Like, a lot of my viewers on my automotive channel keep asking me where in Europe I live, but I don't live in Europe, but they keep thinking I do because the roads in Indiana basically look like Europe's roads because it's long, windy, and there's roundabouts freaking everywhere. Like, not many other, no other state has roundabouts. Like, Indiana has like the most roundabouts of any other state in the United States. Like, if you're a European who doesn't get it, think of all the roundabouts in your entire continent. Imagine putting all that in the country of the United States, except instead of spreading it across evenly, you just put it in Indiana. You just put it in one state. Not even that big of a state either, but that's Indiana in a nutshell, and I love that type of driving so much. Like, I don't like these tight-knit city roads. They just never give me that vibe. Like, some people really like it. They're like, it's such a true street race vibe, which it probably is, but it's not like gameplay enthusiasm. Like, this game is beautiful. When I was just cruising around and about for the past few hours, like, there are some really beautiful parts of this game, and it's a decently big map, like I said earlier, and has so many long, swooping, winding country roads, and those would make for such great racing scenery. So please tell me that this game utilizes it later on, because so far I've made it all the way to the famous rank, and it keeps giving me races located in the same cities. Like, oh, let me back out and just show you guys what I mean. Like, it's like, yeah, like, look, we have like 3 races here in LA, and then we have like, you know, 3 in freaking Las Vegas, and then 1 just randomly in Ohio. Rip how this isn't Indiana, it's still Ohio. That made me, I was so excited when I thought this was the Indianapolis 500. It's like, nope, wait, no, that's St. Louis, that's Missouri. So yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's Ohio. They just completely just pretended Indiana didn't exist, which made me low-key sad, because Indianapolis is like one of the hometowns of like racing. Like, come on. And then yeah, then there's New York. Like, and then Miami, I guess. Like, those are the only 4 prominent locations, and you have like a few spread out here and there. Like, I don't know, I feel like there should be more in Detroit. I hope there's some that are in Chicago, but I don't care. Like, the Heartland, as boring as the Heartland is in real life, how everyone makes fun of it for that, it's such a great place to drive. Like, because it's the same scenery over and over when all you do is race in cities, especially when you have like such mind-bogglingly beautiful scenery. Like, look at this shit. Let me just randomly teleport somewhere. Like, I know a lot of the off-road races use these roads, but like, there are a lot of main roads here too. Like, aside from, I couldn't fast travel any because they're not used in objectives, which is exactly what I'm talking about. So you can't even, but they're definitely around. Like there's some really nice canyon roads here. Hold on, I might have to zoom out more. Yeah, here we go. Like, around here, like, they're just so beautiful and like so wide. Like, the Harley Davidson race went through it, but like, I want more races that just like integrate this stuff. Like, it's such a missed opportunity. Please tell me, like, if not future updates, if some of you guys have beat the entire game and you're currently commenting right now to me the unfortunate news that this game is too stupid to utilize its glorious asset, its main fucking selling point, you know, hopefully in later updates it utilizes them. So even though if I make it all the way to the end of the game and it doesn't use it, I at least hope it utilizes it later. Alright, we are getting this Jag boy's doing so great. Okay, so another thing I want to gush about is, I'll get to it once I'm done upgrading this Jag. Okay, never mind. It gave me worse tires than the ones I have. Okay, so here's the cool thing about this game that blew my mind. And if you played the Crew 1, it probably didn't blow your mind. I don't know how the Crew 1 worked, but in Need for Speed Payback, one of the most frustrating things I hate about that game was when you collect cards. When I first played that game, I thought cards, when you picked the save to garage option, I thought it meant give it to another car, like send it to the garage and then give it to another car in the garage. Like, I was fine with it being fixated to one car, but whenever I earned them at the end of races, I wanted to save them for my other cars, but it doesn't let you do that. But in this game, look at this. So you saw the parts that I just took off the Jaguar because I got new parts for my Jaguar. I can put it on the Miata now. Like, that is just, I love that. That instantly made me fall in love with like instant respect to Ubisoft over EA. Like that is just so like that 220 tire that I just got that I said was pointless for my Jaguar. It's perfectly viable for my Miata. My Miata had lower level tires. I didn't realize that. Like I can't believe it. Look, even that, like even my Mustang could get some parts. Yeah, spoiler alert, I bought a Mustang. I couldn't resist. I'll use that for a later video, but oh my god, like shout outs to like that absolutely. If that's like, I thought I would hate carbureting in this game because I was about to write it off as, oh, it's just another card-based system. I like that. That made it up for me. It's a fun, rewarding system to use. The loot boxes aren't annoying, and you can transfer it to other cars. Thank you. Like the fact that you can transfer it to other cars, I really could not have asked for anything more. Like that's just so awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna try this race in hard. Yeah, we're still under the recommended, but I just want to try it. So it says 230. I'm 223. It can't be that bad, right? Like, come on. Like, that's 7 points off, and hopefully, like the whole rubber banding thing that I just said earlier, maybe it might be forgiving to us since we'll be falling behind them. We'll see if it works in a one-way road or not. I don't give a shit. If it sounds like I'm bitching too much rubber, I'm gonna never talk about it ever again. That's a lie. I'll probably talk about it in some other game, but if it sounds like I hate it, I don't. Like I said, I just wish it was less. I just wish it was like more thorough, but who cares? We're having fun. I like this car, by the way, like the paint scheme. Like I think it's cool how this game lets you do axing. So definitely gonna show you guys the garage before this video ends. Like the customization in this game is, the visual customization is great. I was about to like, so a lot of you guys are asking Forza Horizon 4, The Crew 2, or still buy Need for Speed Payback, because I know Payback is still like, it's kind of relevant, I would say. I mean, a lot of people will just say Need for Speed is like slowly falling from grace as an arcade game, and yes, it is as an arcade racer. It breaks my heart, but at the same time, there are just so many new You are how did that work? About physics? What? I like glued to his rear bumper, like it just dragged me along, and I just couldn't do anything about it. Like I let go of the accelerator and everything, but he was just tugging me. It felt like that was a weird wonky physics feeling. Like it's hard to explain, but it felt like he was tugging me. So it may not have looked like that to you guys, but in other words, what I was gonna say is like, yeah, Need for Speed Payback. I originally like one of the stronger selling points about the game was it does have a lot of visual customization, and I think that's really cool because I feel like Forza Horizon could learn a bit more about that, have more freedom with it, and just silly goofiness. Because Payback was a throwback to just throwback Payback. Anyways, it was a throwback to, in my opinion, some of the glory days of visual customization, because a lot of modern games really kind of choke out visual customizations, and they don't let you do any goofy things or racer things. Like, obviously racing cars is like, I make fun of it all the time, but it's fun to have that freedom sometimes, because everyone at the end of the day has different tastes. And I think it's just really cool that Need for Speed Payback had a decent visual customization system, but The Crew 2 blew me away. It's just as good. I would argue it's just as good. In this game, just the fact that you can't even choose your tint is kind of weird, but that's such a minor thing that, like I said, it does make a difference. Oh, thank God, I'm not gonna fucking get last and be this guy. I think he was the guy I got my rear bumper glued to. Why? Why does that happen? Like, well, maybe something about the Jaguar's bumper is like magnetically attached. I think it's a Mercedes. It's not the same guy. He's an SLS. I feel like the other guy I bumped into was like some other car. I don't care anymore though, but it's just such a weird thing. I think they did that to avoid encouraging ramming. That might have been why they made that physics wonk a thing. So that way when you ram someone in the rear, they just take you for a ride. You're at their whim. Oh, I did horrible. I'm so bad. But like, this game has like your perf levels too. Thank you for making me feel better. It's like trying to comfort me. It's like, oh, it's okay that you lost. You have too low of a perf level. Like, fuck you, game. Like, I don't need you. Don't try to freaking don't try to patronize me. I know what I'm doing. And we're gonna go take a look at the visual customization. So the Jaguar, fuck, I've been saying Jaguar the whole this Jag. Right when I said I wouldn't, because I'd say it annoys the shit out of me. We'll look at the Jag though, but it doesn't have that many visual parts, and I think you unlock visual parts too as you play the game more, which I think is really cool. But like, actually, I would still say it has a decent amount of choice. Like yeah, there's plenty of rims. You get to change color. Can you even change rim color? Someone told me that, by the way. I've looked it up and I couldn't figure out how. It has good old rear wings and then rear bumpers, and then like whatnot. Oh, the interior. That's what it is. So the interior is astounding. Like you can like pick a color, and then you can pick the freaking style. Like what the heck? And then you can pick the material. Like. And then you can pick like the interior inserts, like, do you want carbon fiber or not? And it's just, mwah, like, then you could like choose like, yeah, the color again, because the first one is actually patterning. Like, hold on, like that's just too much for me. Like, I don't even care that much about interiors, but because this game lets you like drive the car with the interior view, that's the thing. And that's just, I know this is supposed to be a review video, but this game is, I don't understand the low reviews of this game. There was work put into this game, and I absolutely appreciate all the work that the devs put in this game. Like, if the only reason you were considering Payback was for the visual customizations, throw that the fuck out the window. You're gonna get a better open world game, more fun, no shitty gimmicky upgrade system, and just really overall better game in my opinion. Like, the only thing Payback might have as an advantage is the multiplayer, because this game kind of pulled the Payback, where it didn't really finish all its multiplayer abilities upon release, or just like how Payback didn't. Like, I don't like it when devs do that, because PvP is a really prominent aspect nowadays, especially when you consider that most FPSs are so cocky that they release full games with just PvP, like no PvE mode. So that's really my only gripe so far. But monthly updates supposedly for this game is what I heard, for free. That's amazing. So things will be fixed as things go on. So I'd rather pick this game up, because I guarantee it will probably, like, I would bank on it. I would bank that this game would eventually, with enough updates, will easily surpass Need for Speed Payback in its current form. As for whether you should wait, like, let's say you only have enough money to buy one of those games, and you're just like, should I wait for Horizon? Should I wait for Forza Horizon 4? I'd probably say that will ultimately be the one that comes on top, because Playground Games just knows what the fuck they're doing. Like, Forza Horizon literally made me fall back in love with cars, not even kidding. That is the reason my YouTube channel, like, flourished the way it did. That is the reason I exited the fleeting phase, was because of Forza Horizon. The music, the vibes, even the simple story of it, the hypeness behind, like, it does, like, Need for Speed 2015 fails the capture. It's just normie hype beast garbage. But Forza Horizon 3, when I played it, it was nothing about it was like normie hype. It was like real car guy hype. It was so cool racing against jets, all those silly things. Like, I fell so hard in love with cars because of that game, because it's so hard not to. Because it makes you want to fall in love with cars, because it's so confusing that you want to understand cars. It doesn't try to simplify things for casuals. It doesn't put cards and stuff. It gives you actual upgrades, and I love that freedom. I'm gonna gush about it more when that game actually comes out, but as for now, that's going to be it for this video. I will definitely do a drifting video with the Mustang GT that you saw that I purchased, so look forward to that when we get to it. That'll probably release sometime soon, probably the 4th of July, because more Mustang, 4th of July, America, baby. Other than that, though, thank you guys for watching. As always, see y'all next time. Blade Angel out.